Hi everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. So last time out, we kind of got fucked over. We got sent into the demon realm and kind of got defeated, turned into nothingness. We got Thanos, and we ended up here at the in the Velvet Room. And at the end of the last part, we were basically forced to go up against Caroline and Justine because our execution had been ordered. And apparently now Caroline and Justine are having second thoughts. That this doesn't... They think this doesn't seem right, that this is not something that their master would do. So they're kind of rebelling a little bit here. And you might remember at the very, very, very beginning of the game, we had this same voice kind of telling us that they wanted our help. They wanted us to aid them and make them stronger. And apparently, and so yeah, we finally have the big reveal here. It's basically who the character was that was speaking to us right at the very beginning of the game. On top of that, yeah, it's kind of the big reveal of what is the deal with Caroline and Justine, because they are very different in terms of the attendance in previous games. Usually there's only one attendant. In Persona 3 it was oh fuck, what was her name? I can't remember, but in Persona 3 there was one female attendant, that being Aegis, that was it. Aegis, I think, is her name. And then in Persona 4 they had Elizabeth. And so it's a little bit odd that in Persona 5 we have two. We have Caroline and Justine, who are kind of our Velvet Room attendants. And so it's finally been so we're finally going to get the revelation of what happened to them. Basically, they were originally one being that was kind of split in two and their memories kind of removed. And so this is something I kind of like, that basically Persona Fusion is kind of become a big kind of story element here, that, you know, Persona Fusion is more important than just fusing personas to make them stronger. It is a major part of the story right at the end, which I kind of like. It's kind of a cool little element. Hello there. Our new attendant. Which, yeah, she's very different from the other attendants that we've had in the Persona series so far.
My name is Lavenza.
Lavenza, and I love her name. It's such a very different from the previous two attendants. And yeah,
if we lose you, the path to
the Holy Grail will forever be lost. So yeah, that was what the voice was saying right at the beginning of the game. We must recall the truth and find out what happened and save them, so that they can remember truly what they're supposed to, why Lavenza is here in the first place. And yes, this is the next big reveal. This isn't Igor. It turns out that the guy who we thought was Igor from the very beginning of the game is actually not Igor. It's the Holy Grail. It's the malevolent evil which has kind of been manipulating us and manipulating the situation from the very beginning of the game. He's the Holy Grail that grants wishes. He's basically the big boss of the game. Has been right in front of us this entire time. So yeah, this is kind of a... When I first saw this, got this to this point, it was kind of an amazing thing which I honestly didn't really see coming. And something else which I kind of like about it is that basically the whole reason why Igor's voice actor was changed was because the original Japanese voice actor passed away before Persona 5 could be made. And so I like the fact that they took something which was so negative and sad and kind of turned it into a major plot point in Persona 5. That the reason why his voice is so different is because of the fact that it's not really Igor. It's the final boss of the game, the true evil of the game, the god of control. So yeah, I kind of like that they took that evil. I kind of like that they took something that was just so negative and kind of turned it into a really cool plot element for Persona 5, which is kind of awesome. And of course with that we max out Igor, or I suppose it's not really Igor's social link anymore, it is the god of control's social link. And the full arcana is now at max. And greatly increases the XP bonus granted by Arcana Burst. Kind of useless at this point, to be honest. But nice to have, I suppose. Oh yeah, so this is the final part of the game where you can still get the bad ending of the game. At this point, the God of Control offers you a choice. You either join his side, and he will return everything back to normal. So he'll revert the world back to normal. The metaverse will be back where it was, and basically, he'll return the world to exactly the way it was before, and the Phantom Thieves will be praised and gain fame, and will be kind of top dogs. If you decide to make this choice, you've got the bad ending of the game, where he kind of basically, I think he basically just screws you over anyway, and just goes, well, he basically does it, but then kind of screws you over, and you get the bad ending, and the world kind of ends. To still get a chance to get the good ending, you basically refuse his offer, and then you can just basically, continue on, and you have to go through one final gauntlet of enemies, culminating in the final boss.
Master.
And yeah, because the god of control has now revealed himself, Igor, the true Igor, is now back in the Velvet Room once more. And I will say that they did a pretty good job of getting a voice actor who sounds pretty close to the original voice actor. At least in the English version anyway. I think they just changed the English voice actor just because, well, you know, we changed the Japanese voice actor for out of necessity because he passed away, so we might as well do the same with the English voice actor as well. So yeah, Igor's finally returned. This is the true Igor.
To save this world that is headed towards certain ruin. However, it will prove difficult to win against him with your power alone.
Yep, so what do I have to do then?
You must release your teammates, with whom you've shared your convictions.
So yeah, all of our teammates are not actually dead. They are... This is a prison, so they are all trapped inside the Velvet Room with us, and we have to go and kind of break them out of their kind of stupor, if you like, and get them to want to fight one more time, and then once we've done that, we can go and take on the final boss together. Yeah, so that's kind of sinister. Igor, you're a good guy, right? And so that's what we've got to do for this next little bit of the game, is that basically we've got to go to the other parts of the Velvet Room, and we have got to find our teammates, release them from their prisons, and then we can go off and fight the final boss. So yeah, it's not really hard to find them. They're basically in the I think there's 6 areas for you to go through, so yeah, you find them all in here pretty comfortably. Yeah, so everybody at this point is kind of like, they're kind of after everything that's happened, they're kind of lost their will to continue to fight, which, you know, after you've been disintegrated, it's, you know, and, you know, once, you know, the rest of the world's basically said, we don't want you to win, and they kind of get disintegrated into nothingness. It is, you know, something that's difficult. You know, you can understand why they would be kind of like, this sucks, I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, we can't let them just quit yet. And so yeah, it's pretty much up to Joker to kind of get them out of their stupor and just kind of push them.
You're right.
To keep going and fighting. So yeah, everybody is kind of like, I don't know what to do, and then they're like, oh yeah, got to keep fighting, haven't we? can't let ourselves be beaten this time. So yeah, and once that happens, they get their Phantom Thief attire back.
I'm very sorry.
And yeah, so we've got Makoto back on side, which is useful. Which is what we need.
Having teammates you can trust is a great feeling. Shall we go? We can't let our last big job end in failure.
Yep, so Makoto's back on the team. And ready to go.
Hey.
Let's see, who do we go to next?
I see.
Right, let's get going. Yeah, and once we've done all this, then we can finally get the
Yes.
all the information from Lavenza about what we've got to do and what is kind of going on with everything. Keep going. There you go, buddy. Hi, Futaba. How you doing? You alright? My apologies. Yeah. And actually, Futaba's, I think, the way Futaba talks here, it kind of makes sense. The fact that, you know, when we first met her, she would just keep herself cooped up in her room and wouldn't go out because of everything that happened with her mother and stuff. So I think it kind of makes sense for her to be like, you know, the world is completely and utterly fucked, and it's and it's super scary and horrible. So, you know, I just do not want to deal with this anymore. I'm kind of done with all this shit. I just want to go back home, and I don't want to bother with this crap. Which, you know, I think makes sense for her character, that if she's you know, it would make sense that she'd be shaken so badly after everything that's happened. But yeah, so really it's all about us, about the main character here, about us kind of reminding her how much she's kind of moved on, how she's grown so much stronger than she was when we first met her, to kind of get her back on her feet and ready to fight again. And so, yeah, Futaba's up and ready to go now. Now that, you know, we've reminded her, you know, you've come a long way. You can't just let it end like this now. You've got to keep going, love. Now we're going to beat a god. Yes. We are facing off against a god.
A real jailbreak.
Break time's over.
Oh, you're quick to
Time to
act.
go.
That's what makes you dependable. All right, time to get back at it.
Yep, so Futaga's back on the team. Just another 4 more to go, I think. Hey. Yes, they are. I'm going to them now. Stop talking to me and I'll go.
Yep.
But yeah, I tell you what, actually, it's kind of interesting because you're saying you're going off to beat a god, which sounds really fucking hard. And it is. But to be fair, Personify Raw's final boss, that is truly fucking hard. Like, Personified Royal, God, it's so ridiculous. I seriously had to max out my level in order to be able to win that fight, and I still struggled. God, that final battle is hard. Personify's one is even, is nothing compared to this. Anyway, so yeah, Ryuji kind of focuses on kind of what the reaction of the people was, that they wanted all this to happen, and that it's almost like it was kind of, what we were doing was kind of pointless. And, he's starting to think that maybe we weren't doing the right thing, and that maybe we deserve to get our asses kicked, and none of this really matters at all, you know what I mean? My apologies. So I think Ryuji's reaction kind of makes sense as well, because he was the one who was all about the fame and the fortune and all that kind of thing. From being a Phantom Thief, he was the one who's probably the most obsessed by that, getting recognition as part of the Phantom Thieves. And so I guess it would affect him badly if the people are kind of like, we don't want you to win. We want the God of Control to keep doing what he's doing. So it makes sense. But, it's just up to us to basically tell him, stop being a bitch. And, you're not going to give up, are you, at this point, Ryuji? And he's like, fuck no, man, I'm not giving up. Let's kick him. Let's kick this guy's ass and finish this off once and for all. So yeah, Ryuji's back in the team. And that's 3 of them down. Just another 3 to go. So yeah. You're waiting here, lazy bastard. Anyway, that's going to be it for this part of Persona 5. Join me next time. The next part is going to be a long one, because basically we're going to be we're going to be getting the rest of our teammates together, finding out from Lavenza what the hell is going on, and then we're going to be heading into the final stretch for we've got 4 mini bosses to take on, and then the final boss of the game. So join me next time for the next part of Persona 5. See you next time.